I used to think my mum was just bad with numbers. A bit scatterbrained, maybe too trusting with credit cards or bills. But last month, when I opened my own credit report for the first time and saw her name tied to debts I never took out, I realized it was never about numbers, it was about lies. I'm 24, still trying to get on my feet. Rent, groceries, student loans, it's a balancing act. I'd been saving for a deposit on a small flat, finally feeling like I was clawing my way toward independence. Then, out of nowhere, my landlord tells me my rent payment bounced. Which was strange, because I'd paid it in full. Confused, I logged into my account. Nearly everything was gone. At first, I thought it'd been hacked. But when I called the bank, they told me the transfer was authorized. To where? My mum's account. Thousands of pounds. Just gone. I confronted her immediately. She acted shocked at first, clutching her chest like she'd heard terrible news. Oh, darling, that must be a mistake. I'd never touch your money. But she wouldn't look me in the eye. 2 days later, I got the truth in the most humiliating way possible. A debt collector came to my door. They had paperwork with my name, and an overdue loan I never applied for. After hours of arguing, I finally dug deeper and learned that my mum had been using my details to open accounts. She'd forged my signature. I felt like the ground was ripped out beneath me. When I went back to her house that night, she was sitting on the sofa watching TV as if nothing had happened. Empty wineglass on the table, shopping bags by her feet. How long? I demanded. She sighed. You wouldn't understand. I just needed help. It's not like you're struggling. You don't have kids. You don't have a mortgage. You're young. You'll make it back. Her words cut deeper than any insult. The betrayal didn't stop there. Once I started pulling threads, everything unraveled. She had been taking money out of my savings since I was a teenager. The family vacation when I was 17 had been funded entirely by draining my child trust account. Even the small things, birthday cash from relatives, scholarships, holiday bonuses, somehow always disappeared into her bank account. I realized she had been using me as her safety net for years. And the worst part, she never saw it as wrong. It's family money, she told me, completely unapologetic. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I wish it ended there, but the fallout has been brutal. My credit score is wrecked. The flat I'd been saving for, gone. My relationship with my partner is strained because now we can't move forward the way we'd planned. When I told my extended family what happened, they didn't rally around me like I thought they would. Instead, I heard things like, "She's your mother, you need to forgive her. She raised you, you owe her. You're overreacting, it's just money." But it's not just money, it's trust. It's years of lies, manipulation, and betrayal, all under the disguise of maternal love. Now I'm stuck with an impossible choice. Do I press charges against my own mum, knowing it could ruin her life but finally free me from her control? Or do I keep cleaning up her messes, sacrificing my own future because family comes first? I don't know which is worse, her stealing from me, or everyone else pretending it isn't a betrayal. The night after I discovered the loans in my name, I didn't sleep. I just sat on the edge of my bed staring at the ceiling, cycling through disbelief, anger, and guilt. How could my own mum, someone who should protect me, be the reason I'm now drowning in debt? The next morning, I called the bank again, desperate for clarity. The woman on the line was sympathetic, but her words chilled me. "Ma'am, this isn't the first loan under your name. According to our system, there are at least 4 active accounts, 3 personal loans and 1 credit card, all linked to your address." I nearly dropped the phone. 4. That explained the constant envelopes of final notices my mum shoved into drawers whenever I visited. I had thought they were hers, but they were mine. When I confronted her a second time, she didn't even bother pretending anymore. "You think life's easy?" she snapped, pacing around the kitchen. "You've always had everything handed to you. Good grades, scholarships, that fancy job. I raised you. I sacrificed for you. So excuse me for taking a little back." My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. "A little? You've destroyed my credit. You've stolen my future." Her eyes flashed, and then she did the thing that broke me most. She started crying, crocodile tears spilling down her cheeks. "You're just like your father," she wailed. "Cold. Ungrateful. Always leaving me to fend for myself." She twisted the knife with every word, weaponizing her pain against me. The fallout only got worse. A week later, I was denied for a rental I'd applied to with my partner. The landlord said my credit history made me too risky. My partner was furious, not at me, but at the situation. Still, I could feel the weight of his disappointment. We'd planned to move out of our tiny studio, maybe start saving for marriage. Now everything was on hold because of her. When I told my grandmother, hoping for support, she just sighed. "You know how your mum is. She's always been reckless. But she's family. Blood is blood." It was like everyone had silently agreed I should just absorb the damage she caused, as if being her daughter meant I was an extension of her mistakes. Then came the breaking point. One Friday night, I came home to find my debit card declined at the supermarket. Embarrassed, I used my credit card instead. When I checked my account later, nearly every penny was gone. Another transfer, to my mum. That was the moment the fear turned to rage. I drove straight to her house. She opened the door smiling like nothing was wrong, holding a glass of wine. The TV blared in the background, and new shopping bags were piled on the sofa. "I needed it," she said flatly when I confronted her. "The heating bill came in, and I couldn't pay. You'll make more money next month, won't you?" My hands shook so badly I thought it hit her. "You're a thief," I whispered. "You're my mother, and you're a thief." For a split second, I saw a flicker of shame cross her face. But then it was gone, replaced by something colder. "If you hate me so much," she spat, "then leave. Don't ever come back." And so I did. I cut her off, blocked her number, moved into a friend's spare room, and started the grueling process of repairing my credit. I filed fraud reports, wrote endless letters to banks, and gathered evidence that she had forged my signature. But here's the cruel twist. Reporting her meant admitting my own mum was a criminal. The investigators asked me directly, "Do you want to press charges?" I froze. I pictured her being hauled into court, maybe even prison. I pictured my family's wrath, the endless accusations that I had betrayed my own blood. And part of me, deep down, still loved her, still remembered the bedtime stories, the birthday cakes, the way she held me when I was small. I didn't press charges. Not yet. Instead, I gave her one last chance. I wrote her a letter. Pay me back within 6 months. Stop using my details. Admit what you've done. If not, it'd take legal action. 6 months passed. No repayment. No apology. Instead, I learned she had tried to open another line of credit under my name. The bank caught it this time. That was it. Something inside me snapped. I pressed charges. The family turned against me immediately. My uncle called me a disgrace. My grandmother said, "You're sending your own mother to jail." My father, who'd been absent most of my life, finally reached out, not to support me, but to beg me to drop it. "Don't ruin her life," he said. "She's still your mum." "But what about mine?" What about the life she ruined? The case is still ongoing. I don't know if she'll actually face jail time, or if the court will just demand repayment. But the damage is already done. I don't have a mother anymore. Not really. I have someone who wore the mask of one, who fed me love with one hand while stealing from me with the other. And the cruelest betrayal. Even now, even after everything, I still catch myself wishing she'd call and say she's sorry. That she'd tell me she's getting help, that she's changed, that she's my mum again. But deep down, I know she never will. The trial didn't play out like I imagined. I thought once the court saw the bank statements, the forged signatures, and the history of transfers, they'd realize the truth. Justice would finally be on my side. But my mum, she came prepared. When she entered the courtroom, she looked frail. She wore an old cardigan, carried tissues, and dabbed her eyes every few minutes like a grieving widow. She'd rehearsed this act well. The moment she took the stand, she painted herself as a victim. She's exaggerating, Mum sniffled. I never stole from her. I borrowed. I'm her mother. I thought we had an understanding. Families help each other. I raised her alone. I sacrificed everything for her. Isn't it natural I'd rely on her sometimes? I sat there frozen. She wasn't even denying the transfers, she was reframing them. Twisting theft into sacrifice, manipulation into entitlement. Then she looked right at me, her voice breaking. She's my only daughter. I don't know why she's trying to ruin me like this. And that was the dagger. Half the courtroom seemed to side with her instantly. The aftermath was brutal. Even though the judge acknowledged there was evidence of fraud, they didn't throw the book at her. She wasn't jailed, just ordered to repay in installments, with conditions. I thought maybe, just maybe, the ruling would wake her up. That she'd finally take responsibility. Instead, she doubled down. Within days, she was back on Facebook posting vague statuses, betrayed by my own blood. Raised her alone and this is how she thanks me. Relatives who hadn't spoken to me in years started messaging me. Some told me I was ungrateful, others that I should have handled this privately. My phone became a weapon of guilt, buzzing with judgment at all hours. The only one who quietly supported me was Aunt Lisa. She sent a single text. You did the right thing. She's been doing this to all of us for years. You're the first one to fight back. That shook me. All of us. When I called Lisa, she spilled everything. Apparently, Mum had borrowed money from nearly everyone in the family at some point. Promised to repay. Lied. Manipulated. Guilt-tripped. But no one ever dared call her out because she weaponized motherhood, single parenthood, and pity. She had built her whole life on being the martyr. She even took money from your grandmother's pension once, Lisa whispered. But no one talks about it. They're all too scared of her temper. I felt sick. It wasn't just me. She had been running a long con on her own family for decades. But the real betrayal came weeks later. One evening, I got home from work and noticed something strange. Letters shoved under my door. Official-looking envelopes. I tore them open and my blood ran cold. Debt notices. From banks I'd never even contacted. More loans under my name. She hadn't stopped. Even after the trial, after the court order, after being caught, she was still trying to use me as her lifeline. I collapsed on the floor, shaking. My future, my credit, my freedom, all of it was still in her grip. I called her in rage. What the hell is wrong with you? You're destroying me. And she just laughed. You'll always be my daughter, she said, her voice dripping with venom. No matter what you do, you can't cut me out. You owe me? That was the moment something inside me broke. I realized she wasn't just financially irresponsible, she was dangerous. A parasite. A person who would drain me until I had nothing left. I've since gone no contact. Changed my number. Reported the new fraud attempts. But the cost of cutting her off has been unbearable. My family mostly refuses to speak to me now. At Christmas, my chair was empty while she told sob stories about her selfish, heartless daughter. My grandmother cried when I didn't show. My cousins posted family photos online, pretending everything was perfect while I sat alone in my apartment surrounded by unopened legal letters. And yet there's a sick part of me that still misses her. The way she used to brush my hair as a kid, how she clapped at my school plays, how she held my hand when I was scared of thunderstorms. It's like grieving someone who's still alive. The debts are still there. The court process drags on. My relationship is barely holding together under the stress. But the deepest scar is this: I've lost my mother, not to death, but to betrayal. And sometimes, when I lie awake at night staring at the ceiling, I wonder, was she always this way? Or did something inside her change along the way, turning the person I loved most into the person who destroyed me?